Hey everybody, Bonehead from the Bonehead podcast, and welcome to Star Player Spotlight. We are looking at every star player available in Blood Bowl 2020, whether it's cool rulebook, Forge World releases, or one of the ones that's landed in the Almanac. Now, we've got another great returning star player. It's Scrappa Sorehead, who is the ubiquitous bouncing Goblin scoring threat. So let's have a look at his stats, his cost, and who he can play for. Okay, so Scrappa Sorehead is back, and he is 130k for a Goblin Pogo star player. Playing for Badlands Brawl and Underworld Challenge, which is basically exactly what you'd expect. Movement 7, Strength 2, Edge 3+, Passing 5+, and Armor 8+, gives him the same stats as a standard Goblin Pogoer. But he just gets better from there. Oh man, I've cut my hand. That's not good. Okay, so skills. Dirty Player +1. Dodge, Loner 4+, Pogo Stick, Right Stuff, Sprint, Stunty, and Sure Feet. So the dude comes with an absolute ton of skills. You've got that Pogo Stick element there, which is kind of his deal. So Pogo Stick allows you to do a leap action, but ignore all modifiers in the world. So it's a 3+. Just pick him up and put him 2 squares away, which can be really effective. Now, the downside of the Pogo Stick and Leap Stick, the Leap skill, is that there's no integral reroll for it. He does have Dodge, so the cool thing with this player is there are going to be times where using that Dodge 3++ is going to be better for you. There are going to be other times where a straight up Pogo roll, again, are going to be better for you, where you can just take a single 3+ roll instead of that 3++. Now, he's got that Sprint and Sure Feet ability, which means that even though he's movement 7, realistically, he's movement 10. Now, you're going to have to roll go for it for sure, but with that Sure Feet ability, it kind of takes the pressure off. You're just looking for the 1 in 36 chance of it going wrong, but that means that when you want to move around with Scrappa Sorehead, you've got a 3+ Dodge reroll. You've got the 3+ Pogo Stick Leap in your back pocket when you need it. So if he needs to cage dive, if you need to go for something special, you can use that ability. You won't have a reroll, but you've got that ability. You can use Dodge when you don't need to do that. And you've got Sprint and Sure Feet to absolutely hoon it about when you need a bit of speed. Now, on top of that, he's got Right Stuff, so you can still throw him about the pitch, and he's got that Dirty Player +1 ability too. So he's a really useful all-star for 130k. You've got good agility with 3+, you've got that mobility, you've got the potential of a 10 movement piece with Dodge, and at that 3+ ability, which gives you a ton of speed, an absolute ton of speed for a very low price at 130k. Now, he's not Edge 2+, he's not Hack Phlegm, but he is way faster than anything kicking around in Goblin Land at the moment as well. Now, he's got an ability called Yoink. Now, I'm going to read this one straight from the book because it's a bit wordy and I don't want to get it wrong. So, once per game, when Scrappa attempts to interfere with a pass action, he may roll a d6. On a 2+, Scrappa does not need to roll to interfere with the pass action. Instead, he automatically makes an interception and gains control of the ball. So you remember how they ruined passing in this edition, but they didn't really, and passing was fine and came back again? Well, Scrappa's here to put another nail in the coffin of your air game. Okay, what that really means is that if someone throws a ball and the path goes near Scrappa Sorehead, on a 2+, he just yoinks that ball out of the air. He just takes the ball, gains possession of it, and causes absolute carnage. Which is really interesting. Basically, it means that if you've got Scrappa Sorehead, your opponent cannot pass in a path that lines up with Scrappa Sorehead, which is really interesting. Now, realistically, I don't think it's going to come up all that much, but, I mean, it will come up every now and again. You know, you watch the game of Lizards versus Amazons, it's very easy to forget a little sneaky skill, like on the ball, let alone yoink. So, movement 7, but really movement 10. Edge 3+ with the Dodge ability and Leap in there with a bit of Dirty Player to just kind of bounce on the skulls of your foes when he's not needed to score the ball. He kind of does a lot of stuff. Let's have a look at some models. Okay, so first up, it's not released yet, but this is the Forge World model from Games Workshop of, well, this is the actual model. Now, it's taken a load of inspiration from the original version of Scrappa, and I love it. You got the pogo stick, you got the jester's hat, it just works really well. Now we've also seen Nobbler Blackwart's model, and it is quite likely that these two will come in a pack at the same time, in the same way that they did with Bomber and Fungus the Loon. We're not sure of that. It's a cool model, it does exactly what you want it to do, but in natural style we've got an alternative model here for you. Now there's quite a few different pogo models kicking around that you can use. If you're not using a Goblin team, you can use the Forge World, just standard Goblin pogoer. You know, I'm sure that Grebo has got a great one. Hunger have got great ones too. There's a ton of great models out here, but this has just come out from Brute Fun, so I feel like it's definitely worth a shout out here. This is the Scrappa Sorehead model from Brute Fun. It's an STL, but I'm sure you can get hold of a copy on Etsy. And again, it's got all the classic elements. You've even got the Jester hat there, so it's always good to see alternative models. You just need a Pogo Goblin. There's a ton of them around, but my pick is this one here, and I've got it on my printer, so I intend to show it off as soon as I get a chance. Okay, so Scrappa Sorehead, Badlands Brawl, and Underworld Challenge. I tell you what, let's bounce to the Underworld Challenge first, because I think it's going to be more important that we talk through that, because Underworld Challenge teams have got access to Hackflem. Now, this guy is 130, Hackflem is 210, so there's definitely a cost barrier there. Underworld have got a gutter runner. They've got that kind of speedy scoring threat. Snotlings, I mean, all of these guys have access to Hackflem, so this guy is just not as good as Hackflem. He is kind of movement 10, which makes him really fast, and with that stunty dodge ability, which does work, even though he's got pogo stick, so he's still 3++ running around places. Now, it's not it's not Hackflem level, but at a lower price cost, he's going to give you that extra bit of speed. Now, as an Underworld team, you could take him as your second gutter runner, your second high speed scoring threat when you can't take Hackflem. The same is kind of true of Snotlings. Now, he doesn't have integral ball handling skills. We've got no catch, we've got no sure hands, none of that. So you're just vanilla dicing him, but he's going to give you that extra bit of speed. Skaven, as much as I love this player, I don't see Skaven using him. Generally speaking, your team has got 2 to 4 gutter runners who are just fantastic, and if you're in a really bad spot, then actually finding a way to get Hackflem will just backfill that skill ability anyway. Goblins, however, I can see Goblins running this guy instead of standard pogo in tournaments, or just in league instead of taking it and using inducement costs to get it. The standard pogo is great, and being able to use your team rerolls is really effective, but he's just got all the skills you'd want. He's got that dirty player to just be extra useful, which just feels like a free skill on this guy. That sprint sure feet combination just makes him so fast that it actually is a really useful skill to be able to be run on a Goblin team. Now, Badlands Brawls, this is where I see him kind of filling a bit of a gap. Chaos Dwarves, I mean, every now and again you're going to want that bit of speed. If you can't afford Hackflem, you can take this guy. Do you know what? That's basically going to be what I'm going to say. Now, Orcs. Black Orcs, Ogres, none of those guys can take Hackflem. So this does give you a speed 10 player for your roster. Black Orcs are missing that bit of fast scoring ability, and back in the day, in the before times, in the long ago, this lad, Scrappa, was a really effective addition to the Ogre team. Now, Ogres can take Griff, but Griff is what? 280k. 130k, alright, yeah, you can always take Bomber, you can always take Fungus, you can always take Creek, maybe. Not with Ogres, but, you know. For speed and scoring threat, the entire Ogre roster is movement 5. Maybe movement 11 if you're successfully throwing. But this guy can be thrown. He's movement 7. He's strength 2, which is going to be effective. He's got dodge 3++ with stunty. And he's got that extra bit of pogo when needed. But really, what he gives you for 130k is that movement 10 piece, which is going to be super useful for Ogres and super useful for Black Orcs. My Black Orc team was always missing that little bit of explosiveness, which is my fault because I probably should just save up SPP for Goblins so that I can sneak a movement 8 Goblin in there, because that's what you want. But that's a lot of SPP. And for 130k, you can just take Scrappa and add him to your lineup. He's going to give that extra bit of speed for Black Orcs. He is going to give a bit of extra speed for Orcs. I don't think he's going to be as useful. But for Ogres, Black Orcs, he gives you a higher speed scoring threat. For Chaos Dwarfs and everybody else, it's a cheaper alternative to Hack Phlegm. You can't afford Hack Phlegm, you can probably afford Scrappa, and if what you're in the market for is a faster scoring threat, he's going to fill that role really nicely. Okay, so Scrappa is back at 130k. He's going to be able to be taken in a lot of teams, and I think this is the first time we've seen a star player land where you're really going to be considering whether or not you want to take Bomber and Stuff or Scrappa, which is awesome. Now, Bomber warps the game around him, but you need to have scoring threats to kind of make the most of it. Scrappa is going to give you that choice, and at 130k he's less than Bomber and 2 bribes, and 130k is going to be a really frequent amount for inducements in League, and is going to be very affordable in a tournament. Now, Bomber is obviously ubiquitous, but actually Scrappa, I think, is just going to allow the Black Orc teams, the Ogre teams, the teams that need a bit of speed but don't have any choices, to just be a little bit faster and a little bit scarier. Sure, he's Loner 4+, and he's only Edge 3+, but he's going to give you that extra bit of speed and that extra bit of chance, because actually, movement 10, that'll do very nicely. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of Scrappa in the comments below. I'm glad to see him back. I'm hoping you are as well. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy pogoing. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to support the channel even further, please like and subscribe. It really does help us out. Or come join us on YouTube Members or in Patreon, where you can get exclusive access to some content, some loot, early access to basically everything we do, as well as regular competitions. Or you can pick up some Bonehead Podcast loot either on our website at boneheadpodcast.com. We've got the Dungeon Bowl things, we've got tokens and stuff like that, or on our Spreadshirt site as well. Everything you do just helps us make more content and hopefully do it of better quality. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Happy blocking.